Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn how to create a stopwatch. A stopwatch is basically a kind of a clock which basically starts from zero, and when you start the stopwatch, it starts running, and we can pause the stopwatch in between, and we can resume after the pause, and finally we can stop it when we want to stop. Okay, let me just show you the basic running of the stopwatch first, and then we can figure out all other things also. So I'm going to start initializing. Let it initialize. Okay. In the beginning, the LCD shows stopwatch has stopped. Okay, because it is in the stopped position at the moment. We have not started it yet. I have put two buttons over here. One is basically to start and pause, and second is to stop. You can see in the beginning that the light of red light is on, so that means it is in the stop position. Red light means it is stopped, green light mean it is running, and yellow means it is paused. Alright, so let's start it. Okay, so let me click on start. So when I click on the start button, so you can see that the green light has switched on, green light has switched on, and the timer has started. So and it is also showing the status of the stopwatch, although the time is showing not showing correctly because I think the processing is not okay on my laptop. Okay, so don't worry, it is running. So when I click on the start stop button again, the green light gets switched off. The yellow light is on. That means now it is paused. If I and you can see that the clock has also stopped. It has stopped at 9. So when I click on start and pause again, it will the green light will switch on and the stopwatch will continue running. And finally, if I click on the stop button, it will now stop. Okay, stopwatch has stopped. All right. Okay. Let me show you other things like in the circuit, whatever I have done. The green wires, the green wires over here are the input coming from the switches to the Arduino, and blue wires are output from the Arduino going on to the LEDs. Okay. Uh, Here you can read that when stopped red LED is on, when running green LED is on, when paused yellow LED is on. And the timer modes, in fact, the stopwatch modes are stopped, started, and paused. These are the modes in which it is working. So at any particular time, the stopwatch is basically in any one of these modes. Either it is stopped, it is not running at all, or it is started, it is running, and third is it is paused. It is running, but it has stopped at the moment, and I can continue it. But when I stop, it will start right from the beginning. Okay, now this part done. So how has the circuitry being done? So let me show you. The switches are connected on the low on one side, and on the other side it is connected to directly to the pin. So there is no resistance I'm using. I'm using input pull up here. And the second switch also the same thing. This switch goes to pin numbers. This pin goes to pin number 7. This goes to pin number 6. So pin number 7 and 6, both of them are in input pull up mode. Pull up actually means if I have not pressed the switch, it is actually going to be high. So 6 and 7 are going to be high. But we need it to be high only when the switch is pressed. So basically, we reverse the whatever is coming from the switch. We reverse it. I'll show you in the program. You can see that line number 8, 9, and 10 are actually outputs going to the three LEDs. Rest are the pins going from the LCD. So we have a ground and VCC, and we have SD and STL. SDA, SCL, you know that SDA is always connected to pin number A4, and SCL is always connected to pin number A5. So we don't have to program it in any way. Okay. Now this part done. Let us see the program. Now in the program there are three status. Okay, status values are 0 for stopped, 1 for running, 2 for paused. So that means these are the uh, three status that we are going to use. And LED status would be that red is when it is in the stopped position, green when it is running position, and yellow when it is in paused position. Next, this is the central idea of the entire program is the stopwatch status. A stopwatch status will basically tell the program what is happening to the stopwatch. Is it running? Is it stopped? Or is it paused? So at the moment when we start the stopwatch, it is showing as 0. That means it is stopped at the moment. So I want it to be stopped because when I run the program, it should not start automatically. It should start only when I start it. Now others we have used the pins. We have 3 pins for LEDs, 2 pins for the switches, switch 1 pin and switch 2 pin. Switch 1 pin is basically to start and stop, start and pause, and a switch 2 is basically to stop. SW1, SW2 are variables which I have created, and time is the variable which is actually storing the time. So time is will be increasing by 1 every time 1 second happens. So I think this part should be very clear to you. In the setup, we need to set up the initial positions. We have set up all the three LEDs, so green, yellow, and red. The two switches, as I told you, are configured with input pull-up. They are configured with input pull-up, uh, so they will be high. You know that they will be high. And in the beginning, I have actually switched on the red LED. Okay, so this is the only one which is on. Red LED is on. So if you see the status in the beginning, when the program starts, red LED is going to be on, time is going to be 0, and the status also will be 0, indicating it is stopped at the moment. Now this part done, let us go into the loop and see what happens. See, in the loop I have given at the end I have given a delay of 1 second. So that means everything is going to happen after a delay of 1 second. So if I increase the time anywhere, this time is going to increase after every 1 second. So every time this loops, it is going to take input from, it is going to read from switch 1 pin and switch 2 pin. So if I read switch 1 pin, that is in a variable called SW1, and switch 2 pin into a variable called SW2, and as I told you, they will be high if not pressed, so we reverse it. How do we reverse it? We say if switch 1 is high, we make switch 1 as low, otherwise switch 1 is high. And similarly, we go for switch 2. We say if switch 2 is high, we make it as low, otherwise we make it as high. So this statement is actually going to reverse the switch, and it will be in the proper situation as we need it. Okay, what do we do now? In the beginning, we just check whether switch 2 is high. So that is that is the very simple thing. If I press the stop switch, it should actually stop. If I press the stop switch, it should actually stop. So how do we stop it? We make the stopwatch status as 0. We make the time as 0, and we uh, switch on the red LED. The green and yellow are off. Okay. Next, what do we do? Okay, so this was the simpler one, right? Switch. If I press the switch 2, that is the stop switch. It is a simple thing. It should stop. Nothing else should happen. What happens now? what happens now? If I press the switch 1, if I figure that switch 1 is high, switch 1 is high means what? That means I have pressed the start and pause switch. But when I press the start and pause switch, I should know, uh, is the is at the time of pressing that switch 1, was it actually running? Was it actually stopped in the beginning? Or was it paused in the beginning? So how do we figure that out? So this whole thing happens when switch 1 is high. Okay. So when switch 1 is high, what is going to happen? Um, we first of all check whether what is the status. Is it not stopped? Okay. So how do I check whether it is not stopped? I say if stopwatch status is not equal to 0. So that means if it is not equal to 0 means it must be 1 or 2. 1 or 2 means either it is paused or it is running. It was running. And you know what is going to happen if it is actually running, it should pause it. If it is paused, it should make it running. So how do we do it? We check whether it is running. So if it is 1, that means it is running and we should actually pause it. So how do we pause it? We change the status to 2. Okay, we change the stopwatch status to 2 and we switch on the yellow LED. This is what we need to do. Okay, so once it is paused, it should actually switch on the yellow LED. Now, else means what? Else means it is not 1. Not 1 means it is paused. So if it is paused, we should resume it. So how do we resume it? We change the status of stopwatch status to 1. That means it is now running. So if it is now running, the green LED pin should switch on. Okay, so green LED should come out. Okay. This else means what? It is not running. So if it is not running, I should start it. That means I have pressed the switch 1 and it was not running in the beginning. So I don't have to do anything else except for to start it. How do I start it? I actually change the status to 1 and I switch on the green LED. So same thing as here, but it is given at a different position. Alright. This is all that we need to do, change the status and everything. This is what we need to do here. After everything is done, we simply check whether the stopwatch is running. If the stopwatch is running, then I need to increase the time, right? Then I need to increase the time. Okay. So how do I increase the time? I say time plus plus because it is actually going to increase by 1 second. Rest everything is basically for the LCD. So I set the LCD at 00 and if the status is 0, it should say stopwatch stopped, otherwise stopwatch running, otherwise stopwatch paused. So that means depending on the stopwatch status, it will actually show the status as stopped or running or paused. And similarly on row number 1, it should actually display the time. Okay, what I'll do at the moment is this program is actually showing you time as only seconds. So it should actually show times in minutes and seconds. So let me change the code and I'll get back to you. Okay, I'm back. So what I've done here is we had done in one of the previous videos how to change the time into minutes and seconds, the seconds into minutes and seconds. So this is how we do it. I have not considered hours here, so I've just taken minutes and seconds. And using those minutes and seconds, we have created a string called TM, and that TM is actually displayed in the LCD. Okay, so this program is done. Let us go and see our program in TinkerCAD. So how? Okay, I'll just run the program and then show you the rest of the program you have already seen. So let me start the simulation. So in the beginning, it shows stopwatch is stopped. Let me just start it. So once I start it, it actually shows you the green light is on and the stopwatch should start. Anyway, it has actually started, but my my system is not actually up to the mark at the moment. All right. So when I pause it, it actually pauses. All right. Rest of the program is exactly the same except the time. The time is basically shown as minutes and seconds. I'll send you the code in the description below, and you can just check out the program. Try to figure out how things have been done. Okay, and then uh, create it on your own. If you have any problem, just write some comments, and I'll see you in the next video.